any team plays JunkerQueen
Right.
versus us,
Right.
they're going to lose.
Okay. Okay. Hello everyone, this is Shine, and in today's episode of World Cup Diaries, I have for you the rank 1 tank, another rank 1 tank if I must say, Romani, person that I look up to as a tank man as well, and he's a complete crack gamer. I will drop his social links below in the descriptions. Do go ahead and follow him. He streams I think 3-4 days a week, and absolutely insane bonkers of a tank player, always in the top 10 of the leaderboard and always been there for the longest. I was glad that he made time for me and for you guys, so that you guys get to know him better, get to know Team Turkey better, and get to know what a pro player or a semi-pro player does when he's not playing Overwatch, I guess. If you do like this interview, do drop a like, subscribe to this channel. I stream every day, top tier tank gameplay from the APAC region, and I will let you guys enjoy the interview now. Welcome everybody to this new episode of World Cup Diaries, and today I have a very special guest. First time that I'm going out of APAC for a change, and I have none other than the rank 1 tank player Romani from Team Turkey, who's been playing collegiate for University of Irvine and also playing Australian contenders for Hotsuna Miku fan club. That's a pretty interesting lineup for the teams that you've been playing right now, Romani. So that the Turkish people and everyone around the world get to know you. Tell me something about yourself, and what do you do except for Overwatch?
So I'm also a full-time student at the University of California, Irvine. I do play for their team, but most of the time when I'm not doing anything Overwatch related, I'm studying for my major, which is electrical engineering, computer science.
Right.
It's a very hefty major. It's very time consuming. Right. And I'm very passionate about computers and computer engineering in general. Right. So I'm usually doing things related to that in and around school.
Right. And so, like, have you been in the California for the longest, or like, do you travel, or are you a student, like only a student there, or?
Well, I have traveled the country, United States, and I've also traveled the world. But in terms of places that I've lived, I was born on the East Coast of the United States, and I moved towards California to seek a better education when I was in middle school, and I've lived here pretty much ever since.
Okay. So Turkish, your family origins are Turkish, or?
That's correct. My mother's side is Turkish. She is a Turkish immigrant.
Got it. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So, that being said, have you ever been to India?
To India? No, I have not.
You would definitely would want to be to India, because there's so many places to see, so many cultures to explore. And one famous thing that really popped up in India in the recent like 3-4 years, the Turkish ice cream. I don't know how famous they are in the rest of the world, but those tricks that those Turkish people do with the ice cream, it's like amazing, and they have become a TikTok trend in India. I mean, though TikTok is banned, look, people do a lot of content thing with that, like food bloggers and stuff like that. They do a lot of content on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, so they have become a thing. Have you tried those ice creams? Have you gotten time to try those?
So I have tried what you're talking about before. I have friends who are actually pretty decent at doing the tricks themselves. But when I visited Japan a few years ago, there was a Turkish man doing what you're talking about on the streets. And we have like a Turkish cultural group and a community here in California. And there's some guy in our group that is pretty funny and good at doing it. So
you have a group person who does it for you, so you don't miss it anyway. So I mean, that's kind of pog, yeah. Going down to a much serious line right now, getting down to the World Cup thing. How much time do you feel like? I would want to talk about collegiate, I want to talk about contenders, but we'll keep this interview to the World Cup, because this is World Cup Diaries. We want to know about how your World Cup practice is going on. So starting with that one big question, like, how much time do you have in a day to dedicate to Team Turkey? Or is it like an everyday thing, or do you have a fixed schedule per week, like this much day or this much time per week? How do you manage that? Or how much is it?
So generally, we're scrimming at least once a day, 5 days a week.
Right. So So one block.
That's correct. One block every day. pretty much, and then 1 or 2 days of break each week. It fluctuates per week depending on what's going on, but we try and keep it at least a block every day.
At least a block.
And yes. What's different for me is that I'm in California and we're scrimming in EU. So not only am I playing on 165 ms, but I also am waking up and then immediately having to go to scrims, because scrims are anywhere from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
So does the ping because I'm pretty sure you're going to play the qualifiers from the US itself, right? So
that's correct.
Yeah. So do you think ping affects, because a lot of Team India players will also be playing on ping, because they are situated in the UK and then some in the US. They'll have a ping thing when they play for the APAC region. So do you think ping affects, or how do you adjust to ping? Or how does it?
So I think that pretty much everybody can adjust to ping. It's not the hardest thing to adjust to, but it takes practice. However, I will say that different roles might have an easier time or harder time adjusting. Say a hit scan player versus a projectile player. A projectile player already has to calculate for a delay in their brain when they're playing a character like Hanzo or something. It's just an extra adjustment, versus a hit scan player maybe playing Soldier or like Cassidy. It's not, they don't have a delay usually, so now they're having to calculate for that in their mind.
Right. So different roles might take different times. So for you, but also because there's a tricky thing for you as well in it, because you might as well scrim for University of Irvine on maybe 20 ping. You might scrim for Team Turkey on, I don't know, like 150, 160 ping. You might scrim for your contenders team for the same amount of ping. So that fluctuates for you as well, right? Like you go from 20 ping to 150 ping in like a jiffy, and does that take a lot of time to get adjusted to, because you might be jumping like a lot of hoops, like in various blocks. So one block might be for Team Turkey, another might be for your collegiate team. So does that affect the gameplay, or do you just snap out of it and just get adjusted at a go?
Well, there are a few nuances to what you've said. First of all, the University of California, Irvine, for their scrims, the season is over. The collegiate season's over for us. So I'm not actually scrimming. We ended scrims about maybe a week or two ago. So during that time period when I was scrimming for both UCI and Team Turkey, I'll be honest, the ping difference isn't really that much for me. I've been playing on ping for at least a year now. I've gotten pretty well adjusted to the ping, and I'm very confident in being able to play a first block of the day on 165 ms and my second block on 20 ms. So it's not really that bad of a difference.
So I've talked to Akash about the same, and he says the same. Like it doesn't take him any time, and he never complains about the ping for once. So I mean, you guys are awesome, I guess. I mean,
well, it's great, but sometimes you get that like one thing where like, oh, your shout didn't go off because of ping, or oh, your axe didn't connect. Not the knife is actually, it's very straightforward. It's not that hard to hit, and it actually isn't that bad on getting cucked as much as axe or shout is, especially shout. Shout is really bad on ping because of timing. If you're really trying to limit test it, you're gonna miss it by a little bit. You can miss it by a little bit.
Right, and that is that one small time where you can actually, not pop off the 200 extra health and actually, die at that point of time, and that really affects the mental. Yeah, right. Got it. I mean, yeah, sure, get it.
But for the most part, it's easy for me to adjust. I don't feel much of a difference, and it's exhilarating. I mean, I'm chill with playing on 165 ms.
Right. Do you play ranked on the same ping, or do you try to play it on the NA servers right now? Because I saw you getting rank 1 on the NA server. So do you play on EU or at all? Or?
I don't play on EU. It would be good practice for me to play on EU, but I prefer to play NA. Or sometimes I play KR.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, I stick to NA because I just like to play with the people on NA, and I have friends on NA, and I usually like to practice with my NA friends. I have a few Australian contenders friends that I play with, but besides that, I mainly keep to NA, and I mainly grind to NA, especially when I'm streaming. I prefer to stream in NA.
Right, got it. Makes sense. So about the team, like these bunch of players, 5-7 players that you have on Team Turkey right now, how well are they settling down? Or is this the first time that you guys have played together, or have you played with this lot earlier as well? Or and if this is the first time, how well are you adjusting with each other?
Well, for me, this is the first time I've ever played with anybody in the Turkish community on a team.
Okay.
Same with Lethal. Lethal and I know each other, but we've never played on a team together.
Right.
So this is our first time. And then as far as everybody else, I know there's like 2 players that have known each other in the past, but pretty much everybody is new. Pretty much everybody is getting used to each other. And I will say that we've all come to adjust to one another pretty rapidly.
Right.
And we've come to respect one another and work well in improving as a whole. So I think things are going great.
I think that is the one thing about pro play. You get scouted, you get taken into a new team, and you have to settle down at once. Like, this is the life of a pro player. Like, you have to play with whatever squad you have given and whatever squad you have been scouted for. So you actually need to hard settle down as soon as possible. And I think being a pro player, I mean, this is a part of your job, like to settle down with new faces, new players, new roles as soon as you get scouted. So I mean, I'm sure Team Turkey is should be doing pretty well. I've watched, like, I've seen your scrims with India. I mean, you guys have been not doing pretty badly. So I'm hoping you can make it as long as you actually intend to. What was your peak on Overwatch 1? Because I've not followed Romani on Overwatch 1 as much as I have done as much as I followed you on Overwatch 2. How was your Overwatch 1 scene like? What was your peak?
So back in Overwatch 1, I was a Hog 1 trick. And honestly, for the beginning Overwatch 2, I was also a Hog 1 trick until they nerfed him. So you would generally see me on NA ladder always in top 10. I was always top 10. My peak was 46, 48.
Right.
And I was like a very, very, very high peak and very high ranked player for many, many seasons.
And you just played Hog towards the Overwatch 1 era.
That's correct. For about 10 seasons, I was playing Hog mainly.
Right. And when did you start playing Overwatch? Like, which season?
So I started playing Overwatch in about season 1, season 2 of Overwatch 1, but I was mainly a casual player.
Right. So when did the rank thing happen? When did you realize that you're actually good at the game and you could, someday make a career out of it? When did that happen?
Well, season 3 is when I first started playing ranks, and I was gold. But it wouldn't be until many seasons of grinding until like season 9 when I hit Grandmaster for the first time.
Right.
When I actually realized that I was somewhat different in this game. This game was something that stood out for me, and this game was something that I was actually really good at and I could take further.
Right, got it. So season 9, everything started from that point of time. Got it. Okay. So right now, as you said, you have the highest level of Overwatch that you've played right now is like contenders, or it is contenders. So you have played a lot of contenders. Also, you've played OD, you've played collegiate. In all of those departments, what do you think is different? Like, so if you play collegiate, if you play contenders, if you play open division, how is the difference like? Like, what is the level of difference in those tournament levels?
So between collegiate, contenders, and OD, there's vast differences.
Right.
OD is more of a loose tournament where there's not many regulation, not many people that are taking it as seriously. There's only a very select few good amount of teams.
Right.
And it's honestly something that like either you'll see friends come together and throw a team together, or see very serious people come.
Right.
You could see both extremes in the same tournament.
Right.
And then at contenders, in order to qualify for contenders, you have to be the best of the best in OD.
Right.
So when I play in contenders, I generally see teams who have tried their hardest, who deserve their spot in contenders,
right,
and who have really dedicated their time towards scrimming and practicing the game.
Yeah.
It's much more serious of a tournament. It's much more standardized, closer to more of a collegiate Overwatch League level. And then I go to collegiates. It's interesting because collegiate, I would say, is a mash between open division and contenders.
Right.
It's taken very seriously at the top level, like top 8 teams in collegiate. It's taken very seriously. There's very large prize pools compared to contenders. They're both very large prize pools. It's very standardized.
Right.
However, you'll also see teams where it's like teams who aren't taking it very seriously, who aren't very good, versus the other side of the echelon, where you'll see teams who are like high rank, literally Overwatch League players going to collegiate. So you'll see the vast variety of teams in collegiate.
So it's like a mix of both worlds in collegiate, and when you make it to contenders, it's like legit pro play, and you actually, you have the best of the best playing in the contenders. Right, got it. And that was something that I was new for me, to realize that there are also vast differences in collegiate, where there are people who don't try hard, and then there are people who are actually cracked at the game, Overwatch League kind of players on a collegiate team. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. What do you feel about rank right now? How does the current state of rank affect your mental, and how much do you think you grind rank a day?
Well, I'm a ranked grinder. I'm very adept at climbing in ranks. I have always been, and I'm a very positive win rate person. Right. So I'm always tryharding every game. Right. I'm always there to win, no matter if I'm playing off-rolling on DPS or if I'm playing my main role on tank.
Right.
Right now, a lot of the ranks are inflated because Blizzard decided to be Blizzard and mess up the ranking system.
Right.
So unfortunately, there are just games that are unwinnable, or games that I play with terrible players, or complete Overwatch League teams playing against random players. And it can be pretty bad. It can be pretty wild at times.
Right.
But for the most part, I stay really consistent in always winning.
Okay, so you are like pretty like you don't let it affect your mental as much as a lot of other players do, because right now I've seen a lot of players. So like, for example, Samito, he says the state of rank is really bad, and he really ended up quitting the game right now, because of one of the reasons being the state of rank. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of other reasons for him to quit to quit Overwatch, but I think because he mentioned that quitting Overwatch, one of the reasons for him quitting Overwatch was the rank. So as long as it doesn't affect you and you're keeping it consistent, I think it works for you. So I mean, that's nice of you, like, to say that, because I really want more and more people to play this game, and I want this game to excel, because I think there is no other game like Overwatch right now, and there never ever will be. Anyway,
I agree. I completely agree with you.
Thank you so much. Do you think? Do you want to talk about the PvE thing? Because I know we're talking about pro play, we're talking about Overwatch World Cup. I do want to brush up the topic about PvE. Do you care about PvE? Because I'll tell you my personal thing. I am a competitor as well. Like, whenever I play ranked. I have not touched a single quick play game in a very long time. Like, I only play quick play when I'm banned for 15 minutes for leaving the game.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a very high competitor in the game, and I honestly couldn't give two shits if PvE came into existence or not.
Right.
It would be great if we had something that would give a short-term release of, like, a large amount of players would come to the game if PvE was a thing.
Yeah.
But however, it would take a lot of resources to develop PvE to what they wanted it to be, and that would take away resources from what I care about in the game, and that is competing. Right. So I'm kind of happy that PvE isn't going to be this extremely large part of the game, because it's going to give more resources towards the competitive nature of the game, and bring it back to what it really should be, a very competitive game. But of course, I am sad that we're not going to see like a jump in player count from a new thing that would have been added.
Right. So I mean, so you're looking forward to season 6, where they have promised us, like, I think the entire fucking world right now. They promised that.
Yeah. Oh my God. That post they made of, like, the sheet of things that are gonna come.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's too much, no? Too much to believe right now.
Yeah, knowing Blizzard, they're not gonna put out that much. Let's be honest here.
I mean, I'm trying to imagine the same, and I hope they put it out. But then it's too much for one season. I think they should divide it. I don't know actually how much, but I honestly also feel if they want to divide it, they'll lose a lot of player base again, because they have promised it, and they have seen what happens if you not stand up to promises right now, because right now everything is like legit on a riot right now. Like, players are leaving, I don't know, I read an article the last day where people were throwing ranked on purpose just to rank games on purpose just to revolt against the the PvE thing. So
that's kind of stupid, but I mean, I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen people just troll games. I mean, I had a game on my main account where I had a Torbjorn who was just sitting AFK building his turret the entire game, and we won that game. We won that game.
Okay.
Because I carried hard, but the point is, I've seen the backlash from people who are upset with the developers. I've seen that.
Right. So,
and it's upsetting, but I understand where they're coming from. But I think
to throw ranked games, I don't know how much that makes sense, but this has been a thing. So I hope things go well, and I hope Blizzard delivers on whatever they have promised us, at least this time. Also, how is your time with the committee? Like, how do you how well are the Turkish committee helping you? Because I have personally talked to Akarina. They look pretty well. I mean, and they always talk highly about the Turkish team. I have not spoken to your coach yet, and not also to your GM. But how are they helping you? How are they helping you build up this formidable roster and get gel well? How are they doing?
Well, since we have multiple people on the management side of things, like the coach, like the GM and the assistant GM and assistant coaches, we have a lot of support from people who will schedule things, people who will help us in managing things for the team. So it feels like we have a lot of people and a big support basis for the team, so we can stay on track to compete in the coming month.
Right.
I feel very confident that we're going to be able to show up to our best ability, and that things are hopefully going to play out well. But my team, the Turkish community is very supportive. I stream every other day to every 3 days pretty much. And I see a lot of Turkish people in my chat, including a lot of my teammates and including a lot of people in the community that I know. It's very nice that I get to see people from the community that I'm a part of and representing in my chat, and communicating with me.
Right. So I mean, so there has been an influx of the cultural, the similar culture people, because of this World Cup thing, and that has kind of helped you also in a way to showcase your skills to the audience that you always wanted to. Your own community people. So I mean, that is I think World Cup does this. World Cup does this to a great extent. It has also helped me to gain some amount of recognition in the Indian scene as well. Being a social lead, I mean, people do look up to me, do ask me a lot of questions on how Team India is doing, and this this constant interactions kind of help the community, and help people know about the game better, and help know people about the players better. That is one good thing.
I agree.
That one good thing that Blizzard has really done in the past. The World Cup thing has been amazing for the game Overwatch. That is. Okay.
I'm very happy that they brought World Cup back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was the happiest when they announced it. I didn't know if India would be there, but I mean, they selected the country on basis of the player count, and I'm sure India made it. I mean, I'm pretty happy that Turkey made it too.
Me too. Trust me, I am.
Congrats on that. One really important question. Everyone wants to know, who is the most experienced player on your squad, and how well do you guys respond to him, or is he the shot caller of the team? Like, who is the shot caller of the team, or who is the most experienced player in your team?
So it's an interesting dynamic because Lethal and I are the most experienced, and Lethal is definitely the most experienced because he's an Overwatch League player. It's his job to play Overwatch, and he does it full time. And he generally will make these okay. Well, for the most part, he doesn't really show up to scrims as much. I'm the one that's there showing up to scrims, and I'm generally the leader of the team. And because the meta, fortunately for us, the meta has formed around my best character, which is JunkerQueen. So I know the composition in and outs of how to play the composition. So I generally take the lead when it comes to helping my team play the composition and leading the team in game. So I'm generally the one taking the lead. But when Lethal comes, he likes to give his input on what we should do, the little nuances. He tweaks the things that might seem off and the things that we might need to do better.
So you and Lethal kind of take hold of the driving seat and try to get the best out of your squad. Yeah, makes sense.
That's correct.
Makes sense because you have been in the tier 2 scene for the longest, and Lethal has been in the tier 1 scene right now. So it makes sense for you two guys to take care of the people budding players who are coming up. I mean, World Cup is supposed to be like that. There'll always be, except for maybe Team USA or Korea or maybe Great Britain, most of the teams are like a mix of people from tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. So I mean, it makes sense for the tier 1 and tier 2 people in the other teams like Team Turkey or maybe Team India or a few other countries, Team Australia, where they take care of their budding players who are coming up and make them play at the highest level. Makes sense.
Correct.
Also, really, when I'm touching on this, I really want to know about which are your toughest opponents that you think who are on the Group B of Europe?
Sweden, Saudi Arabia, and Finland. Those are the ones we need to beat. We need to beat at least 2 out of the 3 in order to make it to the group
because
stage.
only 2 of them qualify from your group, right? And that is like all the group Bs. Only 2 of group Bs qualify to. So you have to beat. So I think because Saudi Arabia, we all know what it is about. And Sweden we know because of that one player Kevster.
I mean Sparker.
I mean sure Sparker, but Kevster is like I don't know, he's become a meme because he's so good. I don't know, everyone just calls Kevster like I don't know, you don't act don't act like you're Kevster. Like he's become that guy, you know, Kevster. So
yeah, he's him.
He's just him. He's just him. Yeah. And you know about Saudi Arabia, I don't know, man. I don't have words to say. I mean, they are one of the teams to beat in this World Cup, you know. While looking at their roster right now, they are actually one of the teams to beat. So I'm hoping. Yeah, go on, please.
I think we're gonna have to beat like Sweden and Finland or Saudi Arabia and Finland. It's gonna have to. I mean, honestly, we gotta beat 2 of them, and it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
In this meta, it might be doable. It might be doable.
Might be doable. Also, I think the meta might change. No, I don't know. Like if at least in the qualifiers, I don't think it will change. But I hope you make it from this qualifiers and then meta changes and it suits you know, Team Turkey as much as you know, you guys have the potential to, you know, suit it to any other meta. I mean, I'm sure the JunkerQueen meta might stay for the qualifiers. So I think you guys are okay with the JunkerQueen meta. So I think it's doable. It's doable for you guys, 100%.
Yes.
What do you think of other regions and other groups? Because once you make it to LAN, you have to face them anyway. So what do you think of other regions and other groups?
So I have many friends who are participating in other regions and other groups. Right. One of them is Light. You interviewed him from Team Taiwan.
I did, yes.
He is a good friend of mine. He goes to UC Irvine, and he is part of I forget which APAC group it is. APAC A?
Yeah. We are in APAC B, but he is in APAC A, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing the results from APAC A. I really want to see them go to groups. It would be awesome if my teammates that are competing in Taiwan got to groups and I got to groups through EMECB, and we got to meet each other at BlizzCon. That would be absolutely awesome.
Because they were pretty confident when I interviewed Light and Dash. Like they were like so like confident about, you know, absolutely. They're like absolutely. It's like like top 2 teams make it, and we are like legit going to make it. So I hope they make it, man. I like the confidence in those guys, and they're cracked gamers as well. And they were so confident about their characters and their specified roles and their staff and their players that they actually like are very confident of making it. And I hope Turkey makes it out of Group B, and you know, and also India makes it out of Group B of APAC, and we get to meet in LANs pretty like, and that would be pretty awesome.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. All of us meeting each other.
Yeah, 100%. Which other country do you look up to except for Turkey? I mean, not region-wise, just one country that I would want to ask you, that one country that you actually, you know, like this is the country, you know, this is the country to beat. Which country?
Australia.
Australia? Do you think they're pretty strong?
I think they're strong, but there's a very specific reason that I would like to face them in the groups.
Is that the biasness because you're playing contenders on them?
I think it's the bias because I play in their contenders series, but also because they have one of my favorite players, Punk. He's one of the JunkerQueen goats, the Junker Jotes, if you would say. And I really do enjoy playing against other JunkerQueen players, and I would really love to get the chance to play against Punk at the group stages and have like a JunkerQueen off.
So Australia is the one team that you're looking up to, you know, facing at some point of time. I mean, sure. I mean, I'm sure. So India and Australia make it out of APAC B. So your dream comes true, my dream comes true, our dream comes true, right?
Agreed. I hope both come true.
100%. Do you look like a pretty fit person? Because I've been on your chat a couple of times here and there. This sipping of water is a thing on your chat. So do you have a regime or a diet that you follow to keep yourself focused?
Yes. So generally I follow a regimen that includes going to the gym at least 5 to 6 times a week for 2 hours.
Right.
I have a gym personal trainer that I work with. Well, he's more like my friend that we go to the gym together. So I partake in going to the gym quite regularly. I also partake in eating about 3,500 to 4,000 calories. That's mainly because
you're gaining. So that's the bulking part.
I'm on a bulk.
Oh, you're on bulk.
I'm on a bulk.
You're right.
So I'm currently trying to bulk. I'm up 30 pounds from my start, and I'm still going. I've still got a lot of room to grow because at one point I was losing a lot of energy from being so skinny, and I want to make sure that I don't have that happen again. And I want to make sure that I'm fully fit because a healthy body is a healthy mind.
Right. So that helps you on your gaming as well. So that this excess, this bulking thing that you're doing is helping your gaming as well. And also like because I have been a fitness freak for the longest, as far as I can remember. Do you not get tired of eating, or do you include liquid calories so that you don't have to, worry about how much you're eating? Hello.
Oh, there we go. You cut out. Sorry.
Oh, I cut out. Okay. Like, do you not get tired of eating? Because 35 to 4,000 calories is like a lot. So do you include?
It is a lot.
Yeah. Do you include liquid calories here and there so that you don't find it like as how much you're actually eating?
So I generally include a diverse set of calories. I live with my parents, so they generally help assist me in making meals for me, or with me. Sorry, I should say. And so I generally start with that as a basis. And then I also eat snacks throughout the day, as well as when I go out to the gym, I like to have a meal either before or after with my gym bro.
Right.
And all of that combined generally ends up being about 35 to 4,000 calories. Now, it's pretty energy consuming in itself and pretty tiring having to force myself to eat all those calories. However, I know that it's worth it. And I know that's
it's working for you because you've gained 30 pounds, like 15 kgs. It's not a joke. It's not a joke to gain. I know losing weight is one thing and gaining weight is another thing. So I know how much the work that it takes. And then it's not just about gaining weight, it's about keeping yourself in shape. If you don't keep yourself in shape and you just like force eat, I mean, you'll not have a healthy mind because you'll just be eating. And
agreed.
And you have to mold yourself and sculpt yourself accordingly. So I mean, that's working on you. Okay, so about the regime and diet, I mean, you are working out, and I think that helps you with the game, and also helps you focus on other aspects of life as well. Got it. Thank you so much for that. And about one last question from you, Romani, and I'll end this interview with this one very one very important questions which will show everyone about your own. Please tell us about your own abilities and how much faith do you have in yourself, and how much can you back your own abilities, and how much confidence do you have in yourself to see your country through to the World Cup lands.
If any team plays JunkerQueen versus us, they're going to lose.
Okay.
I will make sure of it. I will personally make sure of it.
Okay. So if there is a JQ mirror, and I'm sure at some point of time, some team or most of the teams will play JQ because the character is fucking stupid right now. And then I think that will be your time to pop off, right? That is when you guys will actually, do it. That makes sense.
And I've harnessed how stupid that character can be, and I feel like I've perfected the character in its limit testing.
Yeah, and
I will not be shut down.
And there is not a chance that Blizzard is going to hotfix it. Even if they do, I think we'll go to the OPR thing and we'll play this current patch.
Exactly, we will go to OPR
and we'll play the current patch that we are actually playing right now. Thank you 100%. So much. Thank you so much, Romani, for this.
Of course, it's a pleasure to be here.
I mean, it has been amazing. I wanted to keep this interview to 15 minutes, but I don't know how quickly it passed to 30 minutes. But thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate you being here. You're literally the first person that I'm interviewing out of APAC, and I'm sure I'll interview more people just like you, just amazing people from amazing different parts of the world, different cultures, and get to know about your cultures, about your gaming experience, about your Overwatch experience, and everything else that I would I wish and tend to know, and at the same time give it to the audience and show other people that what different cultures and different aspects of Overwatch look when they are brought together. Thank you so much, Romani.
I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Of course. Bye. Take care.